Welcome everyone to 2015 Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. We're now starting Series 11. 11 series, number 11 out of 18 total series. So we're just a smidgen past the halfway point of 54 games for each team. Now each team has played 30 games, so we're in the stretch run. 31 through 52 will be coming up, or 31 through 54 rather, will be coming up. So right now we got the second and third place teams going at it. Matchup 1 of Series 11, that's the Boston Red Sox and the New York Mets. They're both chasing the Cleveland Indians, who are in first place, but battle going on for second right here between the Mets and the Red Sox. Mets win this game, of course they'll be tied, and that's what they're hoping for. That's what the Met fans are hoping for. They got the home field advantage, which means the Red Sox will not have the DH. David Ortiz is going to have to play the field, and they will not have a DH in this game. All right, so let's look at the starting lineups for both teams. You can see him right here. Wade Miley's the starter for the Red Sox. Bartolo Colon for the Mets. You see the benches for both teams and the bullpens. Went with as much colored dice for the Mets as I could find. White, orange, and blue. Maybe a little bit overdue on the orange, but I didn't want to have a blue and an orange separate. I want to have the two dice that are not the white die to be the same color. If I put multiple colors there, it kind of screws me up a little bit. All right, so we'll go ahead and get this game rolling, literally and figuratively, as we look at the numbers on starting pitcher Bartolo Colon as he finishes up those warm-up tosses. Bartolo Colon enters the game 1-3 with a 5.40 ERA, so he's definitely one of the pitchers struggling for the Mets. 33 innings pitched, he's given up 47 hits, 9 walks, 23 strikeouts, but it's the hits to innings pitched ratio, which is kind of alarming. You give up 14 more hits than you have innings pitched. That can be troublesome if you're the pitcher. All right, leading off for the Red Sox will be Jackie Bradley Jr. He's hitting .299 in 87 at-bats, 5 homers and 12 runs driven in. So let me get to my computer and make sure I've got everything the way I need it so I can input this game manually, and I can read the stats off to you as they go. All right, we're ready to roll. Colon facing Bradley Jr. Series 11 now underway. 2-5 for Bradley, and that's trouble all in the first play. 1-5 is a home run. 6-20 is a double. And it's a double, leadoff double for Jackie Bradley Jr. He continues his hot hitting. Ever since Mookie Betts got hurt early in the season and they had to put Bradley in the leadoff spot, he has flourished. So he's a second base, and he will have to be held. He's a C-stealer and a 14 runner, so can't just leave him alone out there. And that'll bring up Dustin Pedroia, second baseman. He's hitting .272 with 3 homers and 15 driven in. 6-8, and that's a pop out to short, 1 away. The injury factor for Colon is a 6-12, so if we roll a 6-12, we will have to check for injury. Other than that, we won't have to. Miley has no injury rating, so no worries there. And that'll bring up Mookie, you better your bets. And he's struggling at .225, a homer and 8 runs driven in. It's a 4-2, and that's a in-home run chance. We're not doing the ballpark factor, so we don't have to worry about that. It's just a straight-up in-home run chance on a 1-8. And he does have normal power, so if we get a 1-8, this will be a 2-run bomb for Mookie Betts. We do not. It's going to be a fly to left instead. So 2 down as Colon catches a break. And the struggling Mookie Betts will continue to struggle. Now you have a situation. You got Ortiz, a red-hot David Ortiz at the plate. He's upped his average to .327. He's got 9 homers and 24 driven in. First base is open. You could walk Ortiz and pitch to Bogaerts if you so choose. What does Terry Collins choose to do? They're going to go ahead and pitch to Ortiz in the first inning. They don't want to walk anybody intentionally in the first inning, so they're going to pitch to him. Hopefully carefully. 2-6. Oh, no, it wasn't careful. That's a 2-run home run for Ortiz, and maybe we should have walked him. Lesson learned there. Big Papi just crushed it. Yet another home run. It is now 2-0 in favor of Boston on the 2-run homer from David Ortiz. That's why DH or no DH, you weren't going to leave him on the bench. He's just hitting the ball way too well now. So here's Xander Bogaerts, the shortstop. He's hitting .348, 6 homers, 16 runs driven in. That's probably one of the reasons why you didn't walk him, because Bogaerts is so hot. You got to pick your poison. 4-3. And that's a straight up in home run chance, but he has weak power against righties. So Xander Bogaerts, early in his career, he only had 7 home runs, and they're not giving him any power here against the righties. He does have a home run chance here on his card, but the power category says weak. So instead of a home run, it will be a single for Xander Bogaerts. And I guess you could say Colon catches a break there as well. Bogaerts, a B stealer, will be held. Plawecki is a 0 arm, so it would be a 1-10 if they wanted to steal it and try to get to scoring position. I think they're going to try it. 1-10. And he's caught stealing, so Bogaerts gets caught stealing by Plawecki, and that's going to end the inning. As second baseman Murphy puts on the tag, so Pablo Sandoval will have to lead off the next inning. Have to settle for that, but the Red Sox get 2 on the Big Poppy home run, and after half an inning of play, it's Red Sox 2, Mets coming to bat, and Wade Miley is the beneficiary of the run support. He will enter the game for the Red Sox at 3-1 with a 2.65 ERA, 37 innings pitched, 37 hits, 7 walks, and 24 strikeouts. Leading off would be Juan Lagares, as they're giving Granderson the day off against the lefty. Granderson normally the leadoff hitter, but they bumped Lagares to the leadoff spot. Lagares is hitting .258, a homer, and 6 driven in. 3-9, and it's going to ground to second, 1 away. Handled by Pedroia. One down, and that's going to bring up David Murphy, the second baseman, or Daniel Murphy, rather, second baseman. He's really struggling at a .198, 2 homers, 10 driven in. He may need a day off. He's had 111 at bats, and he hasn't had many days off, so he'll probably use one eventually. But they're putting him in against the lefty nevertheless. 1-4, and he's going to pop it up to short, 2 down. So 2 up and 2 down. That brings up Wilmer Flores. He's hitting .227, 4 homers, 8 runs driven in. Mets offensively have been stagnant, to say the least. It's been their pitching that's held him up so far, but Colon kind of struggling. So the offense is struggling with them. 1-9. That's possibly here. No more struggles. 1-19 is a home run. Anything other than a 20, and it's gone. And Wilmer Flores would hit his 5th home run of the season. And he does. Wilmer Flores goes deep. Kaboom. A solo shot for Wilmer Flores cuts the lead to 2-1. His 5th home run of the season. And that's what they're looking for out of Flores. Here's Yoenis Cespedes. He's only had 8 at bats. He's 0 for 8 since joining the Mets from the Tigers. So he definitely needs to get going. 4-10 against a righty. It's a fly to the left, and that's going to end the inning. So Cespedes now 0 for 9 in his time with the Mets. So Mets are definitely looking for him to up his game. Right now it's 2-1 after 1. And we go to the top of the second. Colon coming back out. Sandoval is at the plate. He was at the plate when Bogaerts got caught stealing to end the inning. So the Panda is up. Pablo Sandoval. He's only hitting .205. 2 homers, 8 driven in. 3-9, and he's going to foul out to the catcher Plawecki, 1 away. Good start for Colon there. Here's Brock Holt, the left fielder. Kind of Swiss utility knife, Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to call it. Look at all those positions he can play today. He's playing left field. Has played a lot of second base when Pedroia was injured, but today he is playing left field. And let's see, he is hitting .246. No homers, 4 driven in. 5-8 against the lefty Colon. It's a ground ball second base X. That's Murphy. He's a 4. That could be trouble. 4 and a 1. That's going to be a base hit for Brock Holt. And the Red Sox get their number 8 man on with 1 out. And that's going to bring up Swihart, the catcher. Holt will have to be held on. Swihart, the catcher. And Swihart's only hitting a .171 and 41 at bats, a homer and 5 driven in. 3-7 against the righty, struck him out. So Swihart down on strikes, and that's going to bring up Bartolo Colon. I'm sorry, going to bring up Wade Miley, who's using pitcher hitting card number 1. As you imagine, American League pitchers don't hit very often. That's a 4-4, and that's going to be a catcher X. So we're going to Plawecki, who is a 2. 2 and a 20. So a 2 and a 20. As we check the defensive chart, 2 and a 20 is a straight up foul out, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing for the Red Sox in the second. Colon finally gets a safe inning where he gives up nothing. And we go to the bottom of the second. Still 2-1 favor of the Red Sox, as the Mets look to claw back and either tie the game or take the lead. And Michael Kadire, who normally plays left field, but he's playing first base today as they give Duda the day off against the lefty. So Kadire is up. He's hitting 250. Actually 258 rather. 3 home runs, 11 driven in. 110, and that's a single to left field for Kadire. Got to have his bat in the lineup if you're the Mets. He's one of your better hitters, particularly against left-handed pitching. So Michael Kadire, leadoff single, gets things rolling. Kadire, as a base runner, E-stealer, he will not be held. And that brings up John Mayberry, who's playing left field today. Slightly normally or rarely used outfielder, but we need to get him some at bats, and against the lefties, the time to do it. He's only had 15 at bats. He's 3 for 15 on the season. No homers, 2 runs driven in. 4-11, and that's a fly ball left field X. Left fielder is Brock Holt, and Brock Holt is a 3. 3 and a 3 is most likely going to drop in for a hit. A 3 and a 3 is a single, 2 stars. So base hit for John Mayberry, and they keep the train rolling. Runners are now at the corners as John Mayberry gets himself a base hit. Runners are at the corners for another little used guy, Eric Campbell. He's only had 25 at bats. He's hitting a $120, no homers or runs driven in. But again, against the lefty, this is probably the time you want to use him. Infield for the Red Sox with nobody out is double play depth. They'll give up the run to get 2 outs if they can do it. 3-12, Campbell against the lefty, 3-12. Look at that. That's why he's in there. 1-9 is a home run. It would be a 3-run homer for Eric Campbell and a 1-9. Anything else, it'll at least be a sacrifice fly. That's a 7. It's gone. Kaboom. Eric Campbell, a 3-run home run. You wonder why he's in the lineup. There he is right there against the lefty. 3-run homer for Eric Campbell, and all of a sudden the Mets now claim a 4-2 lead as Eric Campbell gets it done. Gets it done big time. And the Mets now take a 4-2 lead. That'll bring up the catcher, Kevin Plawecki. He's only hitting a $176, no homers, 5 driven in. Miley has to recover 1-6. He gets him to pop to short for the first out of the inning. So that certainly helped. And then you got the pitcher, Colon, who's not exactly the best hitter in the world. Colon on the season hit 138. So obviously you expect to get him out if you're Wade Miley. 2-6, and he struck him out, so kind of predictable there. That takes us to the top of the order, Juan Lagares. 2-6 for Lagares. He's going to ground to short. Bogart's over to Ortiz. The inning's over. But a 3-run homer from little used Eric Campbell, and he surprises the Red Sox big time with that 3-run homer, and it's 4-2 after 2, and Wade Miley doesn't know what to think. But the Met fans are very happy about that. And we go to the top of the third. It'll be back to the top of the order, Jackie Bradley. Colon now given a lead to work with. Can he protect it? 2-4. Boy, he escaped there. It's a ground ball to first. A lot of damage in column 2 that Jackie Bradley could be doing, but that was just a grounder to Kadire. Taking the bag himself, 1 away, and here's Dustin Pedroia. 1-6, and he's going to fly to left. Cespedes right there, 2 down. So Colon trying to get that shutout inning and keep the momentum going with the Mets. And here is Mookie Betts. 5-7 against a righty. 1-9 will be a single. Anything else, he lines it to Murphy. That's a 10, so he's going to line it to Murphy. Murphy snow cones it, makes the catch, and that's going to end the inning. So 1-2-3 inning for Bartolo Colon. And that'll take us now to the bottom of the third. Wade Miley trying to shake off the previous inning. We'll be facing another lefty, Daniel Murphy, to lead things off. 2-9 for Murphy against the lefty. He's going to ground to second, one away. And I'm recording this on Sunday upstairs in the man cave. Don't have my printer with me, so I won't have the printer to print out the box score when I'm done, but I will certainly read off the box score from the computer so we can get all the official numbers, and I'll fill them in on the thing here, but I won't have an official printout to show you. I'll have to print that out later after I save the game. All right, here's Wilmer Flores. 1-9, and that's a 1-19 home run right here. So Wilmer Flores looking to do it again. Homered his first time up. Can he homer again? Found the exact same roll, and he does it again. Wilmer Flores, kaboom. He's liking that Wade Miley stuff. And that's now 5-2, and the Boston bullpen is all of a sudden having to go into action as Alexei Ogando has started to loosen for the Red Sox. As Wade Miley just doesn't have it today for whatever reason. Here's Cespedes. 2-9 for Cespedes. Oh, he just missed a home run. 2-10 would have been a home run, but again, he strikes out, and his struggles continue as he's now 0-for-10. But came close. He almost got that home run. It was very, very close. Here's Kadire. That's a 1-10 for Kadire. That's a single. So Michael Kadire, a 2-out single, keeps the train moving. He will not be held. And John Mayberry steps to the plate. Singled his first time up. 6-8 for Miley against a righty. And look at this. Mayberry's going to contribute again. 1-5 is a triple. 6-20 is a double. That's a double. Now, can Kadire score? He was not being held. He runs an 11, so not being held makes him a 12. There are 2 outs. That makes it 14. And the left fielder arm, actually center fielder arm, the ball is assumed to go to center field. Center fielder arm in bets is a -1. So to recap, 11 plus the 1 is a 12, plus 2 for 2 outs makes it a 14, -1 is a 13. So 1-13, Kadire will score. And he's thrown out at the plate. So Mets got greedy on that one, tried to get the extra base with 2 outs, and it just didn't work out. The evil D20 came up as a 20. And so, despite the double from Mayberry, Mookie Betts had the perfect relay to Bogarts, and they get the out at the plate to prevent any further damage. But it is 5-2 after 3 complete. And Bartolo Colon back out enjoying that lead, but now he's got to deal with David Ortiz, who homered his first time up. But with a 5-2 lead, you're not going to walk Ortiz. I mean, that would be ridiculous. Although Ortiz does have 10 home runs already and 106 at-bats, or 105 at-bats, rather. 5-9 against a lefty. He might have another home run. 1-8 is a home run for Ortiz. Would he go 2 for 2 with 2 homers? 1-8, and it is gone. Nope, it's an 11, so it has to settle, in air quotes, with a double. So Ortiz trots in with the double to lead off the top of the 4th. And it's, obviously Ortiz not going to be held at second base. Here's Bogarts. 5-7, and that's a 1-9 single. Anything else, he lines it to Murphy. And that's a liner right to Murphy. Ortiz had to get back in a hurry to avoid the double play. 1 down. And that will send us to the Panda. 2-7 for the Panda. 1-13 is a single. It's only 1 star. 14 or higher, and Murphy grabs it again. That's a 1. It's a single for Pablo Sandoval. Ortiz will stop at third. And probably the 2 slowest runners in baseball in 2015 are on the bases for the Red Sox. Runners on the corners. Nobody's being held on. 1 out for Brock Holt. As the Red Sox try to chip into that lead. Infield is back for the double play. 1-2 for Holt. That's a ground ball, second base C, so the runners are going to advance. Ortiz will score. Sandoval will take second base. RBI ground out for Brock Holt to produce a run. Cuts the lead to 5-3 with Sandoval at second base, and now 2 outs for Blake Swihart. Pitcher spot is next, but if you walk Swihart intentionally, they're going to pinch hit for Miley, so might as well pitch to Swihart. 2-10, and look at this, ground ball second base plus an injury. So since Sandoval was not being held, that plus means it's going to be an out. It's not going to get through. Red Sox will get a run, but now we have to check on the Swihart injury to see if he's going to miss some time or not. So we get the injury chart for Mr. Swihart. Batter injuries, so he needs a 1-4 to stay in the game. 1-6, he wouldn't miss any time. Anything 7 or higher, he's going to miss some time. To 13, he's going to miss 3 games. So he's going to miss this one plus 3 games. So Blake Swihart will have to exit on an injury, and they're going to probably call up Sandy Leon for the rest of the series. But for right now, they will go to their backup catcher that's on the roster currently, and that being Ryan Hannigan. So Ryan Hannigan will get the call as the new catcher going forward. So Hannigan will replace Mr. Swihart. So Colon gives up a run but maintains the lead at 5-3. And they're going to pitch Miley one more inning. He is set to lead off the 5th, so I think they're going to cap him at 4 innings and pinch hit for him most likely in the top of the 5th, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves, I guess. So let's just go ahead on the computer and make these moves to substitute Hannigan for Swihart. So Hannigan is now in the game catching for Swihart. And Eric Campbell will lead it off. He had that surprise 3-run homer back in the 2nd inning. Really surprised everybody. Miley trying to avoid that fate again. 1-9, and that's a ground ball to short, so he did avoid that fate as he grounds to Bogarts for an easy play. 1 down for Kevin Plawecki. 5-6, and Miley is going to get him to fly to center. That's 2 down. So he might get an easy inning here for his final inning. And here is Colon. 5-7, and look at that. Bartolo Colon's going to get a base hit. 1-3 is a double. Anything else is a single. And that's a single for Bartolo Colon. I don't have a runner slip for him, so I'm just going to put somebody there just to signify there's a runner on base. But how about that? Colon gets a single off the pitcher card. Another one of those situations where the 50-50 non-advocates are having a ball on that, saying that shouldn't have happened, but it's the way it is in Strat. Back to the top of the order for Lagares as Miley tries to get out of this. 4-10, that's a fly to left, and he does. That's going to end the inning. But I think that's going to cap it for Wade Miley. He's going to go 4 innings, and that's going to be it. Very short outing for Wade Miley. He is set to lead off in this next inning, so that's going to be it for Wade Miley. His day is done. We will need a pinch hitter for him, so we'll figure out who that's going to be as Colon goes out to make his warm-up tosses. And let's look at the Red Sox bench. Well, they've already had to use Hannigan, but it looks like left-hander Shaw is going to be the guy to come in to pinch hit. So Travis Shaw will lead things off for the Red Sox. He will pinch hit for Wade Miley, and then we'll go to the bullpen to Agondo in the bottom half. And on the season, Travis Shaw is hitting .309, 3 homers, 11 runs driven in. .16, and he's going to get a 1-4 single. Anything else, he lines it to Pedroia if it's 5 through 20. And Pedroia snags it. 1 down. Not Pedroia, I'm sorry, Murphy. It's not an inter-squad game. That was to Murphy, 1 down. And that'll bring up Jackie Bradley as we're back to the top of the order. 2-3 for Bradley. He's going to be hit by a pitch. He's not injured, but he is hit by the pitch. I don't think he cared for that very much. But Cologne's telling him just walk down to first and get over it. Bradley will be held on, but he won't try to go anywhere. Here's Pedroia. Infield double play depth. That's a 1-8 for Pedroia, and he grounds shortstop A. It's a 6-4-3 double play. Perhaps the Red Sox maybe should have done a hit and run or something, but you can also line into double plays doing that as well. So kind of pick your poison, I guess, but that's going to end the inning. And Cologne, 5 innings through the Red Sox order. It holds a 5-3 lead, and now Boston will need a new pitcher. Let's see who they're going to go to. Oh, we already pretty much know it's going to be Alexei Ogando. He had been warming up, so he'll be facing Murphy, Flores, and Cespedes. But we need to get Alexei Ogando. And we'll get you the numbers on Ogando as soon as he comes into the game via the computer. So, Alexei Ogando, 2-1 with a 1.98 ERA, 14 innings pitched, only 8 hits, 5 walks, 10 strikeouts. So, good season so far for Ogando. And his job is simple, keep the score at 5-3. Facing the tough Murphy, 5-7. 1-4 is a double. Anything else, he flies out to Mookie Betts. And it's a fly out to Mookie Betts, 1 away. So Murphy is retired. Start the inning. And that'll send up Wilmer Flores, who was homered twice on this same 1-9 roll against lefties. But now he's got to face the righty, so he's not going to get that break anymore. 6-4 is a catcher X. That is the new catcher, Hannigan. And Hannigan is a 2. 2-13 for Hannigan is going to be a pass ball and a pop out, but nobody's on base, so it's simply a pop out. And there are 2 down. And it's going to send up Yoenis Cespedes, Mr. 0 for 10 on the season. He's definitely due, you would think. 4-10, but not this time. He flies to left. He's Mr. 0 for 11 now. And the Mets go quietly here in the bottom of the 5th. So we played 5 complete from Citi Field. It is the Mets 5, the Red Sox 2. And Cologne coming back out. This is his fatigue inning, so we'll keep an eye on that. Mookie Betts will lead it off for the Red Sox. Betts is 0 for 2 in this game. 1-7. He's 0 for 3 with a strikeout right there. So Mookie Betts down on strikes. 1 away for Mr. Ortiz, and he's already homered and doubled. 6-7 against the lefty. That's a single, so he's a triple away from the cycle, and I don't think there's any way that Ortiz could possibly think about getting a triple. So I think the cycle is pretty safe on that. It would have to be some sort of a rare play to get a cycle on that. Here's Bogarts. 1-8 for Bogarts, and he's going to fly to left. That's 2 down. 2 away, and that brings up the Panda, Pablo Sandoval. 4-5, and that's a fly to left to end the inning. So Cologne, 6 solid innings, quality starts, 6 innings and 3 runs or less. So that's what they call a quality start. I'm not sure how quality it is, but that's the official term for it, as a quality start. Those are the parameters. So that's going to do it for the Red Sox. And Ogando will come out and pitch the 2nd inning, as he went 1-2-3 in his previous inning, so might as well leave him in there. And he is set to bat 3rd next inning. So here's Kadire, first baseman. 5-6 off Ogando is a strikeout. 1 away. And it's going to bring up John Mayberry. 5-3, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. He's a 4 E44, so he's a 4 pitcher. And a 19. 4 and a 19 is a single, so John Mayberry gets yet another single. Boy, he's came in the game struggling, but he's not struggling anymore. He was hitting 200. Now he's probably over 300. Just because he's had so few at bats, but he's getting it done. Here's Eric Campbell. He's the star of the game so far with that 3-run homer, but that was off the lefty Miley. 5-10, and that's a walk. So Ogando will walk Mayberry. Will walk Campbell. And now runners are at first and second with 1 out. And Plawecki is your batter. The question is, do you pinch hit for Cologne? I think you probably do. It depends on the situation, so we'll see. Right now it's Plawecki, infield looking for the double play ball. 5-3 is a ground ball, pitcher X again. So again, Ogando is a 4. 4 and a 20. 4 and a 20 is a ground ball C, so the runners are going to advance, but he does record the out at least. And at least temporarily prevents a run. But now some runners are at second and third with 2 down for Cologne. So what do you do if you're the Mets? Cologne's got a 5-3 lead. He's not tired. You could pitch some more. Although you do have 7 guys in your bullpen that are pretty well rested that you could go to. What do they want to do? They're going to pinch hit for Cologne. They're looking for offense here to try to break this game open. So they're going to go to Lucas Duda off the bench. So Lucas Duda will be pinch hitting, and then we'll get a new pitcher for the Mets as well. But right now, all eyes are on Lucas Duda, as he will come in to pinch hit for Bartolo Colon. And now do the Red Sox counter with a lefty of their own out of the pen? They just might do that. Try to keep this game right where it is. Because Ogando is probably on fumes about this point. Duda's only hitting $154, 2 homers and 9 runs driven in, but he is dangerous. Let's see what they want to do. The Red Sox are going to a lefty out of the pen. And I think they might even do a double switch here. So let's look for the double switch possibilities for the Red Sox and who they have available off their bench. They do have Napoli, Victorino, and Castillo. So let's see. They're going to take Pablo Sandoval out of the game, and they're going to bring on Rusney Castillo to play left field and move Brock Holt to third. So Brock Holt will now be the new third baseman. The pitcher spot will be here, and Castillo will be here in left field. A little messy, I know, but that's just the way it works out. So that way now the pitcher is 9 spots away in the order. So Rusney Castillo is going to be your new left fielder. Brock Holt, the new third baseman, and Pablo Sandoval is going to get the rest of the game off. And coming in to pitch for the Red Sox to replace Alexi Ogando is going to be Robbie Ross, left-hander Robbie Ross. So Robbie Ross, it's his job to keep the score at 5-3 and not let anything else happen against the pinch hitter Lucas Duda. And Ross on the replay, let's get his numbers. First, let's bring him into the game. Almost forgot to do that. Well, I need to do double switch as well. I haven't done that on the computer, so that's what needs to happen now. So let me get that straight so there's no issues. And we move Brock Holt to third, and we bring in Robbie Ross to have him bat in Sandoval's spot. So there you go. All right, Robbie Ross, 1-1, 3.86 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 9 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts. His job is simple: get Lucas Duda. 1-6 for Duda. That's a 1-17 home run as a pinch hit home run. 1-17 will do it. And against a righty, that would only have been a double, so maybe it was a bad move. But it's a 19, so it's a fly to left, and the Red Sox get away with it. Boy, Lucas Duda can't catch a break. I looked almost automatic, but that's why you roll the dice. That D20, that evil D20 came up with a 19, and Lucas Duda continues to struggle and the Red Sox stay in the game because of it. And now we need a new pitcher for the Mets, as the score is now still 5-3 after 6. So new pitcher coming up for the Mets. It'll be Holt, Swihart, and Castillo. Lefty, switch. I'm not Swihart, it's going to be Hannigan. I forgot to scratch out that Swihart got injured, so it's actually Hannigan. So it's a lefty and 2 righties coming up. So they're going to go to righty out of the pen. And it's going to be Hansel Robles coming in for the Mets. Mr. Robles will be on. On the season, on the replay season, Robles is 1-1 with a 2.53 ERA, 11 innings pitched, 8 hits, 6 walks, 11 strikeouts. And he'll be facing Brock Holt, the new third baseman, after the double switch. 1-11, he's going to ground it right back to Robles. Easy play, 1 down. 1 away for Ryan Hannigan. His first at bat since coming in for the injured Swihart. That's a leaner, so we're going to re-roll that. Oh, Hannigan on the replay is hitting .259. No homers, 5 driven in. 4-10, and he's going to fly to left. That's 2 down. Here's Rusney Castillo, the new left fielder, hitting the number 9 position. He's hitting .303, no homers or runs driven in. 3-4 against the righty, and that's a ground ball right back to Robles. So it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Hansel Robles, as he definitely did the job for the Mets rather, and keeps the Red Sox at bay with the score of still remaining of 5-3 in favor of the Metropolitans. And Robbie Ross is going to come back out. He only faced the 1 batter, so he's definitely going to come back out. He's definitely not tired, as you would imagine that he would not be tired. So we're going to the 7th inning stretch, and that means take me out to the ball game. All right, 7th inning stretch is complete. Juan Lagares will lead off against Robbie Ross. Red Sox do have Ed Mojica loosening the bullpen in case Ross gets into trouble. 4-8, and he might get in trouble early. 1-4 is a triple. Anything else will be a single. That's a triple for Juan Lagares. How about that? A leadoff triple for Juan Lagares. And boy, now what do you do if you're the Red Sox? You do have the lefty Murphy coming up, so you're going to keep Ross in there, but the infield's going to have to be in. They can't afford to give up any more runs. They just cannot afford to do so. So the infield is in. 6-6, and that's a strikeout, a huge strikeout for Robbie Ross as he strikes out Murphy. Big strikeout there, and Wilmer Flores is coming up, and he's been death on lefties this ball game. He's hit the 1-9 twice for 2 home runs, so Red Sox aren't going to screw around with that. They are going to the pen, and they're going to get Mr. Ed Mojica. So Mojica is going to come on and try to keep the score where it is and not let that runner on third come in. You have to play it that way. I just don't see any way not to play it that way. So Mojica, let's get the numbers on Mojica. On the replay, Mojica is 0-1 with a 5.06 ERA. He does have 2 saves, 11 innings pitched, 15 hits, 3 walks, and 9 strikeouts. But he is right-handed, and at least as far as Wilmer Flores is concerned, that's a big deal. Infield still in. 111, and that's a single to center field, so I guess in this case it didn't matter. He would have doubled off the lefty, so either way you go, it's going to be a base hit for Wilmer Flores as his hot day continues. He's liking that number 3 position in the lineup, and he gets an RBI single, and that makes it a 6-3 ball game. Flores will not be held at first base. Here's Yoenis Cespedes, Mr. 0-for-11. 5-5, and he's now 0-for-12 as he pops to short. So Cespedes continues to struggle. That brings up Kadire, the first baseman. 3-7 for Kadire. He's going to strike out to end the inning. So Mojica didn't do badly, but he did give up that single, which gave up the inherited run. That run is charged to Robbie Ross. And the Mets add to the lead. We go to the 8th. It is 6-3. Favor of the Mets. Now Robles could stay in the game. We got Bradley, Pedroia, and Betts coming up. So you wonder how they want to play this. I think they're going to let Robles continue. He had a pretty easy 7th inning, so they're going to let him start out the 8th. I forgot to scratch his name off there. There we go. 6-8 for Bradley against the lefty. 1-4 is a triple. Anything else is going to be run down out there by the center fielder Lagares. And it's a 1, so Jackie Bradley gets a triple. So it's been triples alley in this game. Bradley with a triple. And now what do you do if you're the Mets? Well, they do have the bullpen loosening. They do have Alex Torres, a lefty, and Carlos Torres, a righty. So you got the Torreses. I don't believe they're related, but they are both loosening in the pen. Infield is back. You're leading at 6-3. You'll give up a run to get the out. 5-7. It's a walk, so that's not good. You don't want to start walking guys. And now all of a sudden the tying run's coming to the plate in the form of Mookie Betts. So I think Alex Torres is getting ready to come in to face Ortiz, lefty on lefty, but got to get through Mookie Betts first. Don't want to get ahead of yourself. Infield playing for the double play. Pedroia not being held on. 5-7, and that's another walk. So Robles now has walked the bases loaded after the leadoff triple. And Mookie Betts will patrol first base, and that's going to be it for Robles. His day is done, and they're going to Alex Torres to get a lefty-on-lefty matchup against David Ortiz, who could really change the complexion of this game with one swing of the bat. So we got, and Robles is officially tired, by the way, so that's another reason to take him out. But we are going to left-hander Alex Torres. Get the numbers on Torres. He's 0-0 with 1 save, a 1.80 ERA, 10 innings pitched, only 4 hits, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts, no home runs, which is the big thing. Infield double play depth. They need outs. There's nobody out, so they got to start getting some outs. And it's big bat here with Ortiz. 2-3, and he's still going to single to right field. Station-to-station baseball for the Red Sox is they keep the bases loaded and make it a 6-4 game. And that'll bring up Xander Bogaerts. Now, what do you do if you're the Mets? Do you let Bogaerts face, or do you let Torres face Bogaerts? He's got a loaded column 3 against lefties. His column 1 isn't bad either. So what do you do here? You do have right-hander Carlos Torres if you want to bring him in. What do you do? What do you do? The pitcher spot is next, so they could pinch hit with a right-hander. That's all they got on the bench. So I think they're going to go to the bullpen for the right-hander Carlos Torres. So Alex Torres faces one batter and didn't fare so well. He ends up walking or giving up the hit to Ortiz, and that'll bring up Carlos Torres. And it's a little bit too early, I would think, for Familia. So I don't think you're going to go that route. They do have left-hander Sean Gilmartin loosening in the pen now in back of Carlos Torres. So right-hander Carlos Torres coming on, as Alex Torres was ineffective Carlos Torres, much worse. 0-1, no save, 8.31 ERA, 13 innings pitched, 19 hits, 7 walks, 10 strikeouts, and 2 home runs. But each outing is its own entity, so you never know what can happen. 1 run is in, 6-4, but they're playing back for the double play. They need outs. There's nobody out, and they got to get some outs. 6-7, and that's a ground ball, second base X. That is Murphy. He's a 4, though, so that could be trouble. 4-1 is definitely trouble. That's a single, at least 2 stars, I would think. 4-1, single 2 stars. It certainly is. And we got to tie a game. We are tied at 6. Single 2 stars. Both runners will score. Ortiz will take third. And a big 2-run single from Xander Bogaerts has tied this game at 6. And the Met bullpen has imploded. And now the second guessers are wondering why you pinch hit for Bartolo Colon. Well, you thought you had the bullpen working for you, but you didn't. And now we're to the pitcher spot in the order, so Mike Napoli will grab a bat and hit for Mojica. So Mojica's day is done, and Mike Napoli will be up to pinch hit. That will leave Victorino as the only bench player left for the Red Sox. So Napoli is on to hit for Mojica, and in the bullpen for the Red Sox, Junichi Tazawa is loosening in that pen. So here's Napoli. Napoli on the season only hitting $169, a homer, and 8 runs driven in, but we're tied at 6. There's still nobody out. Infield, they're going to play double play depth. They just got to have outs. We get a 5-10, and that's a catcher X. So the catcher is Plawecki. He's a 2. 2 and an 11 is going to go to his error check. He is an E1. E1, so let's look what the E1 says. E1 on a 6 is a ground ball C, so the runner's going to score. And maybe I shouldn't have put that number here. Now it's going to be a 4. As Ortiz will score, the Red Sox will take the lead. Bogaerts will advance on the RBI ground out from Mike Napoli. Play goes 2-3, and that brings up Brock Holt. Left-handed hitting Brock Holt against Torres. 4-6, and that's a walk. So Holt will draw the free pass. Mets bullpen is certainly imploding. Here's Ryan Hannigan. Double play will get him out of the inning, though, which they desperately need. 6-5 is a ground ball shortstop X. That is the shortstop Flores. He is a 4. 4-18 is a shortstop. 4-18 is a ground ball B. It'll be a fielder's choice. Bogaerts will take third. Holt is out at second. And Hannigan is going to be your new runner at first base. So there are 2 outs. And now you got Rusney Castillo, who's batting in the 9th position because of after that double switch. So 2 down, first base is open, but you got Jackie Bradley coming up behind him, so you're not going to walk Castillo, obviously. Hannigan not being held on. 4-7 for Torres. That's a single 2 stars, and that'll bring home another run. 5th run of the inning for the Red Sox as Rusney Castillo keeps the train moving with a base hit. And now that's going to be it for Carlos Torres. He couldn't get the job done either. And the Red Sox have now batted around as we're back to Jackie Bradley. And we will get the left-hander Gil Martin coming on to face Jackie Bradley as the hit parade continues. It is now 8-6. 5th run is coming to the game. I'm not going to write any more because I might have to write 6 here. You never know. But Jackie Bradley is coming on, and that means for the Mets, they will turn to left-hander Sean Gilmartin. See if they can stop the bleeding. Both of the Torreses were definitely ineffective. as was Robles for that matter. I got a good closer in Familia, but you gotta get to him. So Gil Martin coming on, and let's see what Gil Martin will do. Gil Martin, 2-0 with a 0.82 ERA, 11 innings pitched, only 5 hits, 4 walks, 12 strikeouts. He's been immaculate, and they're definitely calling on him to quell this rally right now. Lefty on lefty with Jackie Bradley. 1-11 is a single to right field, so the hit parade continues. Castillo probably can make third. Let's see, was he being held? Well, you know what? With the lead they've got, they're going to play station to station. They're not going to worry about it. It's a base hit for Jackie Bradley. Yet another run is in. And it is now 9-6. 6 runs in the 8th inning for the Red Sox. And they're just still piling it on. Here's Dustin Pedroia. 2-8 for Pedroia. Finally, ground ball to short ends the inning. And what an inning it was for the Red Sox as they put 6 runs on the board. And they go from a 6-3 deficit to a 9-6 lead. 6 runs on the board. What is this? I need my whiteout here and I don't have it with me. 6 runs on the board. It serves me right for putting numbers in there when I shouldn't ahead of time. 6 runs come in for the Red Sox. And we go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 9-6. Favor the Red Sox. Mayberry, Campbell, Plawecki are the scheduled hitters for the Mets, and Junichi Tazawa will be the new pitcher for the Red Sox. He'll try to set things up for Koji in the 9th if they can keep the lead. Mets do have Granderson on their bench to hit, and for Mayberry, so I think that's where they're going to go with that. So Granderson's actually going to take over for Mayberry. He will pinch hit for Mayberry to see if he can get something started. Because Mayberry, while he did okay against the lefties, he's not very good against the righties. So they're going to bring in Granderson to pinch hit. So a lot of maneuvering at this point. So we've got Tazawa in the game. And we'll get to the numbers on Tazawa while we're at it. And then we've also got pinch hitting time with Granderson hitting for Mayberry. Okay, first of all, Tazawa 1-0 with 1 save, a 2.92 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 15 hits, 2 walks, 13 strikeouts. Curtis Granderson on the replay is hitting $190, but he does have 5 homers and 13 driven in. So Curtis Granderson to lead it off. 2-8, and he strikes out. Boy, not very good outing there for Mr. Granderson. He continues to struggle. And that brings up Eric Campbell. He's had a 3-run homer, so you're not going to take him out. 4-8, and that's a single, so Campbell keeps it up. He singles. And that will send us to Plawecki, the catcher. And now it looks like Travis d'Arnaud has picked up a bat to pinch hit for the pitcher. 1-7 is a pop out to short, out number 2. And now we need a pinch hitter for Gil Martin, as it's his turn at the plate, and they're going to go to Travis d'Arnaud. See if he can get something going. He's the best hitter they got left on the bench, so you got to go with the best you have. 268 hitter, and he had 12 home runs on the regular season. Let's see what he's doing on the replay. Travis d'Arnaud on the replay is hitting .314, 4 homers, 8 runs driven in. Normally the starting catcher, but they gave him the day off today to let Plawecki catch, and now he's got a chance to do some damage if he can against Tazawa. 6-8, and he does not. He strikes out to end the inning. So much for that. 2 pinch hitters for the Mets both strike out, and they leave Campbell stuck at first base. So nothing doing there for the Red Sox here in the 8th. It remains a 9-6 ball game. And we need a new pitcher for the Mets to come in to the top of the 9th. And of course, depending on what The Red Sox do this anyway. We may or may not see Koji Urahara, depending on if it's a save situation or not. Mets are now going to bring in Eric Goodell. He will come in and pitch the top of the ninth and try to keep things where it is, or where they are. So Eric Goodell will be your new pitcher. And Granderson will stay in the game to play left field. I'm sorry, to play right field rather, as he pinch hit for Mayberry. So that didn't change. So right now Mookie Betts is going to be the leadoff hitter against Eric Goodell to start the top of the ninth in a 9-6 game. We've had 15 runs and 24 hits in this game already. 6-3 off of Goodell is a single to left field. So Mookie Betts, the hit parade continues for the Red Sox, and the Mets pitching is getting plundered pretty badly. Betts will have to be held on, but up 3 runs and Ortiz coming to the plate, you're not going to run Mookie Betts. So no more lefties to face Ortiz, so it's going to have to be Goodell. 4-11. It's a ground ball second base A. They turn the double play. How about that? 4-6-3. And they catch a break there as they get Ortiz to ground to Murphy for the easy 4-6-3 twin killing. And that saves their bacon temporarily. Here's Xander Bogaerts. 2-5 for Bogaerts. He grounds to short to end the inning. So Eric Goodell pitches a scoreless top of the ninth, trying to keep his team in the game as best as possible. And Tazawa will not come back for the Red Sox. It will be Koji Urahara because we are in a save situation at the moment in a 9-6 game. 3-run lead does present what I call a cheap save, but you can pad your stats. It's that kind of save. You can pad your stats on. So let's go to the Red Sox lineup to bring Koji Urahara in the game. And let's see if there's any other maneuvers to be made. Maybe a double switch or something. Let's see. We still got Ortiz at first base. That could be a problem, but he's been at first base the whole game, so I guess might as well leave him there. I don't think there's anything that's going to hurt him now. So Koji Urahara will be coming on to pitch for the Red Sox. He is 0-1, but he does have 10 saves, a 1.50 ERA, 12 innings pitched, 5 hits, a walk, and only 1 walk and 14 strikeouts. And he's going to start out facing top of the order Juan Lagares. It'll be Lagares, Murphy, and Flores due up for the Mets against Koji Urahara in the bottom of the ninth of a 9-6 game. Mets led this game at 1.5-2, and that 8th inning just took it right out of him. 6-12. That might be an injury check on Urahara, so I've got to double check his card. 6-12 can really lean to an injury. Koji Urahara is a 6 though, so 6-12 is not going to be his injury check. His injury check is actually much more severe. When you're a 6, that means it's a 6-7. So we got to watch a 6-7 result. So in this case, 6-12 is fine. It's a fly to center, 1 away. But if we roll a 6-7, then he would be injured. Obviously, Urahara is susceptible to injury. Here's Murphy. 6-6, and that's 6-7 is his injury, so he just escaped that. 6-6 though is a strikeout, so he gets a strikeout on Murphy. So he's Koji living dangerously, but he does get the out for 2 outs, and now it's down to Wilmer Flores, last chance for the Mets. 4-7, and that's a 1-8 double. Anything else, 9 or 20, and the ball game's over. That is a 10, so that's over. Left fielder hauls it in out there. Castillo for a 1-2-3 ninth inning by Koji Urahara, and he will get the save. Again, it's a cheap save, but he'll take it. And the Red Sox defeat the Mets and increase their lead over the Mets to 2 games. The Red Sox are now 20-11. Mets are now 18-13. And the Mets got to feel like they let this one get away pretty substantially to go into the game with, or go into the midway point of the game with such a big lead and then give up the 6 runs in the 8th. Met fans just not happy. So we'll get the totals for you. For the Red Sox, 9 runs, 13 hits, and no errors. And they left on 5. For the Mets, 6 runs, 12 hits, no errors. They left on 6. The winning pitcher was Ed Mojica. He's 1-1 now. And the save to Urahara, his 11th. Losing pitcher, left-hander Alex Torres, he now drops to 0-1. So only faced one batter, but that was enough to cause him to get the loss because the batter he faced came around to score, and that was the go-ahead run. I believe that was Ortiz that scored the go-ahead run, and that's what caused him to suffer the loss. So with that, I need to save this box score so I don't make sure I don't lose it. And I'll go over the rest of Series 11. On the schedule. And highlights of the game for the Red Sox: Ortiz 4 for 5, just didn't get a triple. He had 2 singles, a home run, and a double. Home run for Ortiz was his 10th of the season, 12th double of the season. RBIs for Ortiz, he had 3 of them, so he's up to 27 ribbies now. So he's sitting at 10 home runs and 27 runs driven in 31 games. So he was a big star. So we'll go to the rest of the schedule for Series 11. And the rest of the schedule, we have Seattle at Philadelphia, Houston at Cincinnati, Tampa Bay at San Francisco, and Cleveland at Arizona. Most of those, I think I'm going to play all of those offline to finish up Series 11, and then we'll pick something in Series 12 to bring out. Kind of cutting it down at least now until we get to until we get closer to the playoffs. I'm going to cut it down to 1 video a series, so we can get through this a little bit quicker. But Citi Field not happy as the Red Sox plunder or pummel the Mets into submission in the 8th inning with those 6 runs. I know it looks messy here. That's about the way that kind of symbolizes the Mets pitching staff right there, giving up 6 runs in the 8th. 9-6 victory for the Red Sox, and they improved to 20-11. Mets fall to 18-13. And as I look at the updated standings with this result in it, Cleveland's in first place at 21-9. Boston now at 20-11. They've pulled to within a game and a half, and the Mets with the loss dropped to 3.5 back, with Houston in between. So Houston now has taken over by half a game into 3rd place, dropping the Mets into 4th, depending on what Houston does in their game. And if Tampa Bay wins their game, they will pull into a tie with the Mets. So it's a lot of cluster there. The top 6 teams are within 5 games of each other. The bottom 4 teams are 8, 13, and 14 games out, so they're pretty much done. Seattle, Arizona, Philadelphia, and San Francisco are pretty much out of it. But Cincinnati through Cleveland, 1 through 6, it's only a 5-game difference, so definitely a lot of time to make those 5 games up, so no guarantee is safe. The top 4 teams will make the playoffs, where 4 will play 1 and 2 will play 3, and then they'll have the championship game after that. But long way to go for that, as this is just game number 31 out of 54, so we got a little bit less than halfway to go. But by playing a lot of these offline, I can get through them pretty quickly and move this project along. So let's go do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Demolition League. And if you're a Mets fan, hopefully you enjoyed it anyway, despite the results. And until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.